I'm glad you're here. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you will change how you think about family forever. This isn't just about mental illness or divorce. This is about a sister who tried to destroy her own sibling's marriage by dressing as their dead mother and terrorizing her at night, all because she wanted to steal her brother-in-law. Comment below and tell me where you're watching from. What would you do if you discovered your own sibling betrayed you like this? Because by the end of this story, you'll question whether you really know the people closest to you. Your Honor, my wife is mentally incompetent. She's been seeing her dead mother standing outside our house at night, staring through windows. She's schizophrenic. She hid it from me our entire marriage. Jason Mitchell was 32 years old when he said those words in divorce court. Mecklenburg County Courthouse, Charlotte, North Carolina. Sitting across from Emma, his wife of 3 years, telling a judge she was insane. Emma couldn't even speak at first. That's not true, she finally managed. Then explain the medications I found. Antipsychotics. Hidden in your drawer for 3 years. Explain that. Judge Patricia Morrison had been on the bench for 25 years, 63 years old. She heard everything. Or thought she had. Mrs. Mitchell, is this true? Do you have a psychiatric diagnosis? Yes. Emma could barely get the words out. But I'm not sick anymore. I've been stable for 11 years. She's hallucinating. Jason couldn't hold it in anymore. She claims someone's been stalking her, dressing up as her dead mother. But no one else sees this woman. Just Emma, because she's ill. That's when Emma's lawyer stood up. Sarah Park, 32, sharp as they come. She'd taken Emma's case pro bono after reading about it in the news. The whole thing outraged her. This is exactly the kind of discrimination I became a lawyer to fight, she told Emma. Your Honor, my client isn't hallucinating. We have proof. Security camera footage from the neighbor's Ring doorbell. Someone has been stalking Mrs. Mitchell, and we know exactly who it is. She pointed to the gallery. Her sister, Anna Sullivan. You should have seen Rachel's face. Went white as a sheet. The courtroom exploded. Everyone talking at once. Judge Morrison had to bang her gavel. Order. We're taking a 30-minute recess. Everyone calm down. But Emma couldn't calm down. She looked across the courtroom at Jason, the man she loved, the man who thought she was crazy. He wouldn't even meet her eyes. Out in the hallway, Jason was pacing. His lawyer, Jennifer Reynolds, walked beside him. 47 years old, 20 years doing family law. Charged $3.50 an hour. This is a disaster, Jennifer told him. Your wife just accused her sister of harassment. Stalking. In open court. I don't know what she's talking about. Well, we need to figure it out. If there's evidence that someone else is involved. There's no one else involved. Jason stopped walking. Ran his hand through his hair. Emma is sick. She sees things that aren't there. Her own psychiatrist prescribed antipsychotics. That's not someone playing games. That's mental illness. Jennifer pulled out her phone, started scrolling. Her lawyer just filed a motion. They're calling witnesses, her psychiatrist, her father, and security footage. What security footage? That's when it hit Jason. We don't have security cameras. Your neighbors do. Ring doorbell. Next door. They're subpoenaing it. Jason felt dizzy for a second. Had to grab the wall. Jason, you okay? He wasn't. Because if Emma wasn't crazy, if someone really was pretending to be her dead mother, then Jason had spent 6 months trying to divorce a woman who'd been telling the truth. And he hadn't believed her. Not once. Down the hall, Emma sat on a bench with Sarah Park. You can't just make accusations without proof, Sarah was saying. If you're claiming your sister has been gaslighting you, I have proof. The cameras. Mr. Henderson next door, he showed me. 2 weeks ago, I saw the footage. And you didn't tell your husband. Emma was still wearing her wedding ring. Jason had asked her to take it off. She'd refused. He wouldn't have believed me. He'd already decided I was crazy. Sarah's expression softened a bit. Why did you hide your diagnosis? Because I knew what would happen. Exactly this. The moment people know you've been in a psychiatric hospital, they never look at you the same way. But you're healthy now. Your doctor confirmed it. Doesn't matter. Emma's voice cracked. Jason found out I had schizophrenia. And that was it. Everything I said after that, every fear, every suspicion, he thought it was delusion. My sister has been stalking me, dressing up as our dead mother, standing outside my window at night. And my own husband thought I was insane. Sarah was quiet for a moment. Then, why would your sister do that? Emma looked her right in the eye. Because she's in love with him. She always has been. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you how this all started. How the person Jason married, this kind, stable woman he fell in love with, became someone he feared. How a loving marriage turned into a nightmare. And how the real villain was hiding in plain sight the whole time. Because this story doesn't start in a courtroom. It starts 3 years earlier. September 2021. With a chance meeting at a community center. And a woman who seemed absolutely perfect. Jason spotted her across the room at Charlotte Community Center. Red sweater, dark hair and a ponytail. She was serving soup to a homeless man whose hands were shaking so badly he could barely hold the spoon. "It's okay," she told him. Gentle voice. "Take your time." The guy dropped the spoon. Soup went everywhere, all over her shoes. "Oh God, I'm sorry." "Don't worry about it." She grabbed some napkins, smiled like it was nothing. They're old shoes anyway. That's when Jason knew he had to meet her. He was 29 then. Regional sales manager for Target. Made about $78,000 a year. Had a decent 2-bedroom place in South End. Nice car. But no serious relationships. He'd been focused on work. Until that moment. He walked over, picked up a serving spoon. "Need help?" She looked up. Brown eyes. Freckles across her nose. Pretty, but not in an obvious way. Real pretty. "You volunteer here?" "First time." "You?" "Every Sunday for 2 years." She handed him an apron. "I'm Emma." "Jason." They worked side by side for 3 hours. She laughed easily. Knew everyone's names. When a little girl spilled juice on her jeans, Emma just knelt down. "It's okay, sweetie. Accidents happen." The girl's mother tried to apologize. Emma waved it off. "I have a washing machine." Jason watched her. The way she moved. The way she treated people, rich volunteers and homeless families, exactly the same. No judgment. Just kindness. After cleanup, they walked to the parking lot together. So Jason said, "Can I take you to dinner sometime?" Emma smiled. "I don't know you." "That's what dinner is for. Getting to know each other." She thought about it. "Coffee first. Tomorrow. 2 p.m. Amelie's on Park Avenue." Deal. She got into this beat-up 2015 Honda Civic. Dent in the back bumper. Probably had 140,000 miles on it. When she drove away, Jason just stood there smiling. He didn't know her last name. Didn't know where she worked. Didn't know anything except this woman was special. Emma was already at Amelie's when Jason got there, reading a paperback. Jane Austen, he noticed. Jeans and a green sweater. No makeup. Just natural. "You came," she said. "You doubted me." Guys say a lot of things at volunteer events. Makes them feel good. Then they disappear. Jason sat down. "I'm not those guys." And they talked for 3 hours. Coffee turned into walking around Freedom Park. That turned into dinner at a taco place. Then sitting in his car talking until midnight. Emma was 26. Elementary school teacher at Rama Road Elementary. 2nd grade. 5 years of experience, made about $48,000. She lived with her younger sister Rachel in a small apartment near Noda. Grew up in rural North Carolina. Little town called Gibsonville. "My mom died when I was 10, she told him. "It was hard. My dad raised me and Rachel alone." "I'm sorry. It was a long time ago." She looked out at the lake. "But you don't really get over losing your mom when you're that young. It shapes you." Jason reached for her hand. She let him. "What about you?" "Pretty boring. Grew up in Raleigh. Normal family. 2 parents still married. Little brother. I'm the stable, predictable one." "Stable is good." "Yeah. Stable is underrated." She smiled. Trust me. They saw each other every single day after that. Dinner, movies, long drives. Jason had never fallen this fast. Emma was everything. Funny, smart, caring. She remembered the little things. Brought him coffee the way he liked it. Left notes in his car. 3 months in, Jason asked her to move in with him. I can't, Emma said. They were at his apartment, cooking dinner together. Pasta carbonara. She was good at cooking. Made everything feel like home. Why not? I need to make sure this is real first. It is real. I love you. Emma stopped stirring. Turned to face him. You love me? Yeah, I do. She kissed him. I love you too. But let's wait. Okay. 6 more months. Then we'll talk about moving in. Jason agreed. He would have agreed to anything. Now, here's what Jason didn't know. Emma wasn't being cautious because she doubted him. She was being cautious because she was terrified. Terrified that if he knew the truth about her past, he'd leave. She'd been hospitalized at 17. Spent a year in psychiatric care. Had a diagnosis that followed her everywhere. Schizophrenia, paranoid type. But it had been in remission for 9 years. 9 years of stability. Normal life. Normal relationships. She kept telling herself, maybe this time will be different. Maybe I can have this. Maybe he doesn't need to know. Jason proposed at the community center where they met. June 2022. Sunday morning, right after they'd served breakfast to about 50 people. Got down on one knee in the parking lot. Anna Sullivan, you make me better. You make everything better. Will you marry me? The ring was simple. Silver band. Small diamond. He'd saved for 3 months. Cost him $3,200. Emma just stared at it. Tears running down her face. Yes, she whispered. Yes. They kissed. The volunteers were all cheering from the doorway. Rachel was there too. Emma's sister. She'd started volunteering with them a few weeks before that. Congratulations. Rachel hugged them both. But when she hugged Jason, she held on just a little too long. Emma noticed. Didn't say anything. Small ceremony. 50 people. August 2022. Emma's father, Thomas, walked her down the aisle. Rachel was maid of honor. Jason's brother was best man. They had it at this barn outside Charlotte. Rustic. String lights everywhere. Sunflowers. Emma had planned every detail. Whole thing cost them $8,500. They split it. When Emma walked down that aisle, Jason couldn't breathe. She wore a simple white dress, hair down, flower crown. She looked beautiful. Really beautiful. The vows were traditional. In sickness and in health. Jason meant every word. So did Emma. But when she said in sickness, her voice faltered. Just for a second. Rachel stood beside her, watching Jason. You couldn't read her face. They rented a small beach house in Hilton Head. $1,800 for the week. Spent every day on the sand. Every night cooking together. I can't believe you're my wife, Jason said. They were watching the sunset, feet in the water. I can't believe you're my husband. Are you happy? Emma turned to him. Happier than I've ever been. And she meant it. For the first time in her life, Emma felt normal. Complete, like her past didn't matter. She thought, maybe I never have to tell him. Maybe the medication keeps me stable forever. Maybe we can just be happy. But her therapist's words kept echoing in her head. Secrets destroy relationships, Emma. Especially big ones. Emma pushed it away. Not now. Not yet. They bought a house that fall. Small place. 3 bedrooms. Built back in the 80s. Needed some work. But it was theirs. 1847 Commonwealth Avenue in Plaza Midwood, Charlotte. The neighborhood was changing. Young families moving in. Coffee shops opening. They loved it. Paid $340,000 for it. 30-year mortgage. $2,100 a month. Emma quit teaching. She'd been struggling with the classroom stress. 30 second graders was just overwhelming. They agreed she'd take a year off. Figure out what she wanted to do next. Jason got promoted. Senior regional manager. Started making $95,000. They could afford it. Just barely. Life was good. Normal. Jason left for work around 7:30. Emma spent her days organizing the house, cooking, applying for jobs. She wanted to work with kids again, but differently. Maybe tutoring, maybe therapy. By December 2022, they'd been married about 4 months. That's when Rachel started visiting more. "Rachel's coming for dinner," Emma said one night. She was chopping vegetables, making stir-fry. Jason looked up from his laptop. "Again? What do you mean again? She was here 3 days ago." "She's my sister. Is that a problem?" "No, doesn't she have friends? A boyfriend?" Emma's knife stopped moving. "She broke up with someone last month. She's lonely. I'm being supportive." "Okay." Jason closed his laptop. "Sorry. It's fine." Rachel showed up at 6. Tight jeans, low-cut sweater, makeup heavier than usual. "Hey guys," she hugged Emma. Then Jason, again, held on a little too long. At dinner, Rachel kept asking Jason about work, about his promotion, about his hobbies, laughed at all his jokes, kept touching his arm when she talked. Emma noticed, didn't say anything. After dinner, Rachel helped with dishes. "You're so lucky," Rachel told Emma. "Jason is amazing." "I know. Like seriously. You found the perfect guy." "Yeah." Emma's voice went flat. "I mean, I wish I could find someone like him." Rachel glanced toward the living room, where Jason was watching TV. "You better hold on tight. Someone might try to steal him." Emma looked at her sister. "That's a weird thing to say." "I'm joking." Rachel laughed. "God, you're so serious." But Emma wasn't laughing. Rachel started showing up unannounced after that. January 2023. "I was in the neighborhood. I brought you guys cookies. Can I hang out for a bit?" Always when Jason was home. She'd sit close to him on the couch, ask him to help her move furniture. "You're so strong, Jason." Emma watched, getting angrier. One night, after Rachel left, Emma confronted him. "Do you notice how she acts around you?" "Who? Rachel? She's flirting with you." Jason actually laughed. "What? No, she's not. She's your sister." "I'm serious." "Emma, she's being friendly. That's all. It's more than friendly. You're being paranoid." That word hit Emma like a slap. Paranoid. She went quiet, turned away. "Hey," Jason touched her shoulder. "I didn't mean it like that. I just meant, you're reading too much into it. Rachel's nice. She's lonely. She sees us happy and she wants that too. It's not about me." Emma wanted to believe him. "Okay. There's nothing to worry about. I promise." But Emma wasn't paranoid. She was right. Rachel was falling in love with Jason, had been since the day Emma introduced them. And Rachel had decided, if Emma wasn't in the picture, Jason would be hers. Rachel texted Jason directly in February. "Hey, want to grab coffee? Emma's busy with job applications and I'm free." Jason hesitated, then texted back, "Sure. Amelie's at 2. They met. Rachel wore a red dress, way too formal for coffee. She leaned forward, touched his hand. "You're such a good husband. Emma's so lucky." Jason pulled his hand back. "Rachel, I'm married. To your sister." "I know. I'm just saying, if things were different." "They're not different. I love Emma." Rachel's smile disappeared. "Right. Of course." That night, Rachel sat alone in her apartment, furious. He'd rejected her, chosen Emma, again. She opened her laptop, started searching. How to prove someone is mentally ill. Then schizophrenia symptoms relapse. Then how to make someone think they're hallucinating. An idea started forming. Dark, twisted, but possible. Rachel was sitting there scrolling through Emma's Instagram. All these photos of Emma and Jason. Happy. Perfect. Made her sick. She'd been in love with Jason since the proposal. Maybe even before. He was everything she wanted. Stable, kind, successful. Everything her ex-boyfriends weren't. And Emma got him. Emma, who was broken. Who had a history. Who'd spent a year in a psychiatric hospital. Rachel remembered visiting Emma there. She was 16. watching her sister behind glass. Medicated, just vacant. Their father had explained it. Emma is sick. She sees things that aren't real. She attacked you because she wasn't in control. It's not her fault. Rachel had nodded, played the supportive sister. But deep down, she'd been relieved when Emma was gone. Relieved to be the only daughter. The normal one. The pretty one. And now, Emma had everything. And Rachel had nothing. Rachel went to her closet, reached way in the back, pulled out a box. Inside was a white dress. Their mother's dress. Well, not the actual one. That was long gone. But Rachel had bought an identical one online. $89 from some vintage store. Also in the box, a blonde wig. Their mother had been blonde. Emma and Rachel were brunettes, but they remembered their mother's hair. Long, flowing. Rachel held up the dress, smiled. Emma's biggest fear was seeing their mother again. Emma's diagnosis was paranoid schizophrenia, visual hallucinations. If Emma started seeing their mother, everyone would think she was relapsing, including Jason. Rachel put on the dress, the wig, looked in the mirror. She looked like a ghost, like their mother. Perfect, Rachel whispered. Emma was setting the cake on the table. Chocolate, Jason's favorite. She'd baked it from scratch. March 14th, 2024. Jason's birthday. Make a wish. Rachel was standing beside Jason. Too close, hand on his shoulder. Emma noticed, tried to ignore it. Not tonight. Tonight was supposed to be about Jason. 32 candles flickering. Jason blew them out. Everyone cheered. Small party. Jason's brother and his wife. Jason's parents. Rachel. Emma's father Thomas had driven up from Gibsonville. They ate cake, talked, laughed. Normal family stuff. Around 9, Emma went to the kitchen for more plates. That's when she saw her. Through the window, in the backyard, a woman in a white dress, blonde hair, standing by the oak tree, staring at the house, staring at Emma. Emma's breath just stopped. The plate slipped right out of her hands, shattered on the floor. Emma? Jason called from the living room. Emma couldn't move, couldn't speak. The woman tilted her head, smiled. It was her mother, Anna Sullivan, dead 18 years. Emma, you okay? Jason came to the doorway. What happened? Emma pointed. There's someone outside. Jason looked out the window. Where? By the tree. He squinted. I don't see anyone. She was just there. Jason opened the back door, stepped onto the patio. Hello? Anyone there? Nothing. Empty yard. Just the tree swaying in the wind. He came back in. No one. Emma's heart was pounding. I saw her. Probably a neighbor or a cat. Shadows play tricks. It wasn't a shadow. It was a person. Okay. He put his arm around her. It's fine. Let's clean up the plate. But Emma couldn't shake it. She'd seen her mother. Clear as day. No, that's impossible. Mom is dead. Emma had been in therapy for years. She knew the difference between memory and reality. Knew all the signs of relapse. This wasn't psychosis. This was real. Someone was there. But who? Emma couldn't sleep that night. Kept seeing that face, the smile. Jason was snoring softly beside her. Emma got up, went to the window, looked out. Empty yard. Nothing. She went downstairs, found her phone, pulled up her psychiatrist's number. Should she call? At 2 in the morning? No, wait until morning. But what would she even say? I saw my dead mother. Dr. Chen would think she was relapsing, would want to hospitalize her, adjust her meds, and Jason would find out about her diagnosis, about her past, everything she'd hidden. No, I can't tell anyone. Emma went back to bed, lay awake until the sun came up. Emma called Dr. Chen first thing. 8 a.m. I need to see you. Today. He squeezed her in at 3. In his office, Emma sat in that familiar leather chair. She'd been coming here for 11 years. This room felt safe. What's wrong? Emma told him. About the woman in white. About the backyard. About the face. Did you recognize her? Dr. Chen asked carefully. It looked like my mother. But you know your mother is deceased. Yes, I know. That's why I'm here. I'm not relapsing, Dr. Chen. I know the difference. But I saw someone. He started making notes. Any other symptoms? Voices? Paranoia? Sleep problems? No, nothing. Just that one thing. Have you been under stress? Emma thought about it. No more than usual. How's your marriage? Good. Jason's great. We're happy. Any changes in routine? Medication? No, I haven't taken medication in 5 years. You said I was stable. You are stable. But sometimes stress can trigger isolated incidents. Environmental factors. So you think I imagined it? I think your mind might have misinterpreted something. Shadows, a reflection. Stress can do that even without psychosis. Emma wanted to believe him. Okay. Let's do a full evaluation, just to be safe. I want to rule out physical causes. Thyroid problems, neurological issues, vitamin deficiencies. Sometimes those can cause visual disturbances. They scheduled tests for the next week. Emma left feeling a little better. Maybe it was nothing. Stress, being tired. But in her gut, she knew. Someone was there. 1 week later, Emma saw her again. She was folding laundry in the bedroom. Around 4 in the afternoon, Jason was at work. Something moved outside, caught her eye. She looked out the window. The woman in white, standing on the sidewalk, staring up at the house. Emma dropped the towel, ran downstairs, out the front door. Hey, hey. The woman turned, started walking away fast, around the corner. Emma chased her, barefoot, heart just pounding. Turned the corner. Empty street. The woman was gone. Emma stood there gasping. How? She was right there. A neighbor came out. Mrs. Chen, older lady. Emma, you all right? Did you see her? The woman in white. What woman? She was just here, right here. Mrs. Chen looked worried. I didn't see anyone, dear. Are you feeling okay? Emma's chest got tight. I'm fine. Sorry. I thought I saw. Never mind. She went back inside, locked the door, sat on the couch. This is happening. This is really happening. But why? Who would do this? But why? Who would do this? Everything came back normal, Dr. Chen told her. He showed her all the results. Brain scan, blood work, perfect. Then what's happening to me? Emma, I need to ask you something. Have you told your husband about your diagnosis? Emma looked down. No. Why not? Because he'll leave me. Everyone leaves when they find out. Dr. Chen's expression softened. That's your fear talking. Jason loves you. He deserves to know. I can't. Emma, secrets like this, they eat away at relationships. And if you're stressed from hiding this, that stress could show up in strange ways, including visual disturbances. So you think I'm making this up? In my head. I think your mind is under a lot of pressure, and sometimes that pressure has to go somewhere. Emma stood up. I'm not crazy. Someone is doing this to me. Then call the police. File a report. But Emma, if this keeps happening, we may need to talk about medication again. Just temporarily. To help you manage. No. Emma grabbed her purse. I don't need medication. I need people to believe me. She left. Over the next couple weeks, Emma saw the woman 4 more times. April 2024. Once in the backyard at night. Once walking past the house. Once standing across the street. Once looking through the living room window. Every time, Emma called out. Chased. The woman disappeared. She started keeping a journal. Writing down every sighting. Times. Descriptions. Looking for a pattern. And she found one. All the sightings happened in the evening or at night. Always when Jason wasn't home. Emma started to suspect. Whoever this is, they know Jason's schedule. But who? And why? Emma was at the grocery store when Jason found her medication. She'd kept it hidden for 3 years. Empty bottles. Old prescriptions from when she was 18. She'd never thrown them away. Dr. Chen had told her to keep records. But Jason didn't know that. When Emma got home, Jason was sitting at the kitchen table, the bottle in front of him. Risperidone. The label was clear. Patient, Anna Sullivan Mitchell. What is this? His voice was quiet, dangerous quiet. Emma's whole world just stopped. Jason, what is this? I can explain. You have schizophrenia. He stood up. You're on antipsychotics. I was. I'm not anymore. That's an old bottle. How old? Emma couldn't speak. How long have you been lying to me? I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you. That's the same thing. Jason threw the bottle across the room. Hit the wall. Pills scattered everywhere. Jason, please. We've been married 2 years. 2 years. And you never thought to mention you're mentally ill. I'm not ill. I was. Past tense. I've been stable for 11 years. Then why do you have medication? It's old. From when I was 18. I keep it for records. Jason laughed. Bitter sound. You're lying. You're lying right now. I'm not. Emma, I've watched you for weeks. Talking to yourself. Staring at nothing. Saying you see people who aren't there. That's not stable. Someone is there. Someone is pretending to be my mother. Jesus Christ, Emma. Listen to yourself. Emma was crying now. Please, please believe me. I'm not crazy. I swear I'm not crazy. Jason grabbed his keys. I'm staying at my brother's tonight. We'll talk when you're ready to be honest. Jason, don't leave. But he was already gone. Emma just collapsed on the floor. Pills scattered all around her. This was her worst nightmare. He knew, and he thought she was insane. She pulled out her phone, called Rachel. Rachel? Can you come over? I need you. Rachel showed up within 20 minutes, hugged Emma right there on the doorstep. What happened? Emma told her everything. Between sobs. Jason finding the pills. The fight. Him leaving. Rachel listened, face all sympathetic. Oh, Emma, I'm so sorry. What do I do? You tell him the truth. All of it. Your diagnosis. Your treatment. Show him you're stable. He won't believe me. Then show him proof. Medical records. Dr. Chen's evaluations. Make him understand. Emma nodded. You're right. Rachel made tea. They sat on the couch. Talked until midnight. Has anyone else seen this woman? Rachel asked. Besides you? No. That's what makes it worse. It's always just me. Emma, Rachel hesitated. What if Dr. Chen is right? What if it's stress? You don't believe me either. I believe you're seeing something. But maybe it's not external. Maybe it's... I'm not hallucinating. Okay. Rachel put her hands up. I'm sorry. I'm just worried. Emma's phone buzzed. Text from Jason. Staying at Mike's for a few days. Need space. Please respect that. Emma showed Rachel. Give him time, Rachel said. He loves you. He'll come around. But Emma knew better. She'd seen the look in his eyes. He was already gone. Now here's what Emma didn't know. Rachel was playing a long game. Every word of comfort, every sympathetic gesture, it was all calculated. Because Rachel knew exactly who was standing outside Emma's house at night. Rachel knew because she was the one doing it, and her plan was working perfectly. The bailiff called everyone back in. All rise. Judge Morrison entered. Everyone sat. We'll continue with testimony. Mr. Mitchell, you may step down. The court calls Dr. Marcus Chen. This man in his 50s walked to the witness stand. Asian American guy. Calm. Expensive suit. His credentials were impressive. Duke Medical School. 20 years practicing psychiatry. He was sworn in. Sarah Park stood up. Dr. Chen, you're Mrs. Mitchell's psychiatrist, correct? Yes. I've treated Emma for 11 years. Can you explain her diagnosis? Emma was diagnosed with schizophrenia, paranoid type, at age 17, following a severe traumatic event. She witnessed her mother's suicide. Emma flinched. Jason looked over at her. He'd known her mother died. Emma had told him it was an accident. She'd lied, or at least not told the whole truth. What was her treatment? Sarah asked. Emma was hospitalized for 1 year. ages 17 to 18. She got intensive therapy and medication, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers. By age 18, she was stable, in full remission. And has she stayed stable? Yes. For the past 11 years, Emma has shown zero signs of psychotic symptoms, no delusions, no hallucinations. She functions normally in every part of her life. Dr. Chen, Mr. Mitchell claims Emma has been seeing her deceased mother. Is that consistent with a psychotic relapse? Dr. Chen paused, chose his words carefully. Not necessarily. The whole courtroom shifted. Jason sat forward. What do you mean? Sarah asked. 6 weeks ago, Emma came to see me. She was frightened. Said she was seeing her mother. Outside her house, at windows in the yard. But here's what was unusual. Emma maintained full insight. Meaning? Meaning she knew her mother was dead. She knew what she was seeing couldn't be real. She was upset precisely because it didn't make sense. That's not typical of a psychotic episode. What is typical? In true psychosis, patients lose touch with reality. They believe the hallucinations are real. They can't tell the difference between what's in their mind and what's outside of it. Emma could. She kept telling me, I know this isn't real, but I'm seeing it anyway. Sarah nodded. What did you conclude? I ran a full psychiatric evaluation. Cognitive tests, brain scans, blood work. Everything came back normal. No signs of relapse. No problems with medication. Emma is healthy. Then what was she seeing? Dr. Chen looked directly at Jason. That's not a question for a psychiatrist. That's a question for a detective. Dead silence. Jason's lawyer jumped up. Objection. Speculation. Sustained. Dr. Chen, please stick to your medical findings. My medical finding, Dr. Chen said, is that Emma Mitchell is not psychotic. She's not delusional. And whatever she's been seeing, it's not a hallucination. The courtroom erupted. Everyone talking at once. Judge Morrison banged her gavel. Order. Jason just stared at Dr. Chen. His mind was racing. If Emma wasn't hallucinating, then someone was really there. Someone pretending to be her mother. But who? And why? Sarah Park had this little smile. No further questions. Jennifer Reynolds stood up. Jason's lawyer. She looked rattled. Dr. Chen, isn't it true that schizophrenia patients can have periods of lucidity even during relapses? Yes, but... And isn't it true that some patients keep partial insight while still experiencing psychosis? In rare cases, but Emma's situation doesn't. So it's possible she's ill and doesn't realize it. No, I've evaluated her thoroughly. She's not. You've been wrong before, haven't you, doctor? Dr. Chen's expression went hard. Excuse me? Jennifer pulled out a file. In 2019, you testified in a custody case. You declared a patient stable. 3 months later, that patient attempted suicide. Were you wrong then? Sarah shot up. Objection. Relevance. Your Honor, this goes to credibility. Overruled. Answer the question, Dr. Chen. Dr. Chen's voice turned to ice. That case was different. The patient lied to me. Hid symptoms. Emma has done no such thing. Are you certain? Yes. But you can't be 100% certain, can you? Medicine isn't an exact science. No medical diagnosis is 100% certain, but I am confident in my assessment. Jennifer sat down. That's all. Judge Morrison looked at Sarah. Redirect. Briefly, Sarah stood. Dr. Chen, in your professional opinion, is Emma Mitchell a danger to herself or others? Absolutely not. Is she capable of making sound decisions about her own care? Yes. Would you trust her to teach your children? Dr. Chen smiled a little. I'd trust her to teach mine. She's one of the most stable patients I've ever treated. Thank you. Nothing further. Jason sat there frozen. His entire case was built on Emma being mentally ill, unstable, unable to make rational decisions, and her psychiatrist just tore that apart. Emma caught his eye across the courtroom. She wasn't angry, just sad. She mouthed, I told you. Jason looked away. Judge Morrison called for a short break. Emma went outside. Needed air. Sarah followed her out. That went well. Dr. Chen was perfect. Jason still doesn't believe me. Emma's voice was hollow. He will, when we show the security footage. He should have believed me when I told him. I'm his wife. Sarah didn't respond. What could she say? Emma sat down on a bench, closed her eyes. Let's hear your side, Sarah said gently. What really happened? Start from the beginning. When did you first see your mother? Emma's hands clenched. March 14th, 2024. Jason's birthday. I saw her in the backyard during the party. Through the kitchen window. A woman in a white dress. Blonde hair. Standing by the oak tree. What did you do? I called out to Jason. He went outside. Said no one was there. I thought maybe I was seeing things. My worst fear. That I was getting sick again. But you knew you weren't. I knew. Because I felt fine. Clear-headed. No voices. No paranoia. Just one visual, one time. It didn't fit psychosis at all. When did it happen again? 1 week later. I saw her standing on the sidewalk. I chased her. She disappeared around the corner. Then it kept happening. Again and again. Always at night. Always when Jason wasn't home. What did Jason say? He said I was stressed, imagining things. And then he found my old medication. The bottles I kept for records. He confronted me. I had to tell him about my diagnosis. How did he react? Emma's voice cracked. He looked at me like I was a stranger. Like everything about me was a lie. He said he couldn't trust me. That I was mentally incompetent. He filed for divorce the next week. I lost my husband because someone wanted to make me look crazy, and it worked. Who did you suspect? At first, no one. I thought maybe Dr. Chen was right. Maybe it was stress. But then I noticed the pattern. Only when Jason was gone. The woman always disappeared before anyone else could see her. It felt planned. When did you realize it was Rachel? 2 weeks ago. My neighbor, Mr. Henderson, he called me. Said he'd been going through his Ring doorbell footage, looking for a package thief, and saw something strange. A woman in white, standing in my yard. Multiple times. He sent me the videos. Emma's eyes filled with tears. I watched the footage, and there she was, my sister, dressed as our mother, standing outside my house. It was all real. Every sighting. Every moment I thought I was losing my mind. She did it. Rachel did all of it. But why? Emma looked at Sarah, because she wanted Jason. And the only way to get him was to make me disappear. So she tried to make everyone believe I was insane. The bailiff called everyone back in. Mrs. Mitchell, please take the stand. Emma walked to the witness box. Hands shaking. Got sworn in. Sarah Park stood up. Emma, why didn't you tell your husband about your diagnosis before you married? Emma's voice was quiet. Because I was afraid. Of what? That he'd leave. Like everyone else does when they find out. Has anyone else left you because of your diagnosis? Yes. My college roommate moved out. A boyfriend broke up with me. Friends stopped calling. People treat you differently when they know you've been in a psychiatric hospital. But you weren't ill anymore. Doesn't matter. The stigma stays. People think you're fragile, dangerous, unpredictable. I wanted Jason to know me. The real me. Not the diagnosis. Do you regret not telling him? Emma looked at Jason. Every day. But I don't regret marrying him. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. Jason's jaw tightened. He looked away. Sarah kept going. Emma, let's talk about March 14th, 2024. Your husband's birthday. What happened that night? Emma took a breath. I saw someone in our backyard. A woman in a white dress. She looked like my mother. And you told your husband. He went outside. Said no one was there. Did you believe him? I believed he didn't see anyone. But I know what I saw. Someone was there. How did you feel? Terrified. Because I knew how it sounded. I saw my dead mother. I knew everyone would think I was relapsing. But I also knew I wasn't. I'm not psychotic. I know my mother is dead. So what did you think was happening? That someone was trying to make me look crazy. People started whispering. Sarah pressed on. Who would do that? I didn't know. Not then. When did you figure it out? Emma's eyes found Rachel in the gallery. 2 weeks ago, when I saw the security footage. Rachel went pale. Jennifer Reynolds jumped up. Objection. There's been no foundation for this alleged footage. Your Honor, Sarah said calmly. We're about to play that footage for the court. Mr. Henderson, the neighbor, provided it willingly. Judge Morrison nodded. Overruled. Let's see this footage. They set up a screen. Dimmed the lights. Sarah hit play. Ring doorbell camera footage. Black and white. Timestamp in the corner. April 23, 2024. 9:47 p.m. The camera faced the street. You could see the Mitchell house in the background. For about 30 seconds, nothing. Just an empty street. Then something moved. A car pulled up. Honda Accord. North Carolina plates. The driver got out. Rachel Sullivan. She opened the trunk, pulled out a bag, walked to the side of the house, out of frame. 2 minutes went by. Rachel came back, but she looked different now. She was wearing a white dress, long, flowing, a blonde wig. She looked exactly like the woman Emma had described, exactly like their mother. Rachel walked slowly toward the Mitchell house, stood right in the front yard where you could see her from the windows. Then she walked to the backyard, out of frame again. 5 minutes later, she came back to the car, changed back into normal clothes, drove away. The courtroom was dead silent. Jason just stared at the screen, mouth open. Emma was crying. Thomas Sullivan, Rachel's father, had his head in his hands. Sarah stopped the video, turned to the judge. We have 4 more videos. Different dates, same pattern. Rachel Sullivan has been stalking Emma, dressing as their deceased mother, deliberately triggering Emma's trauma to make her appear mentally unstable. Judge Morrison looked at Rachel. Ms. Sullivan, do you have representation? Rachel stood up, shaking. I don't. You have the right to remain silent. I strongly suggest you use it. Rachel sat back down. Sarah played the other videos. Each one showed the same thing. Rachel, white dress, blonde wig, standing outside the Mitchell house. April 30th, May 7th, May 14th, May 21st. All between 9 and 10 at night. All when Jason wasn't home. Let me tell you how Emma discovered the truth. 2 weeks ago, May 25th, 2024, Emma had been staying at her father's house in Gibsonville. Thomas lived out there, small town, rural North Carolina. Jason had filed for divorce. Emma couldn't stay in their house anymore. Too many memories. She was just sitting on the porch, coffee in hand, wondering how her whole life had fallen apart. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Mrs. Mitchell. This is Howard Henderson, your neighbor. Oh, hi, Mr. Henderson. I heard about your separation. I'm sorry, but I think I might have something that could help you. What do you mean? My Ring doorbell. It records everything on our street. I was going through footage from last month, had a package stolen, wanted to catch the thief, and I saw something odd. Emma sat up. What? A woman, dressed in white, standing in your yard. Multiple times, always at night, always when Mr. Mitchell's car wasn't there. I thought it was strange, so I saved the footage. Emma's heart was pounding. Can I see it? I'll email it to you right now. 10 minutes later, Emma opened the video. And there she was, the woman in white. But when she got close to the streetlight, you could see her face. Rachel, Emma's baby sister. Emma dropped the phone, hand over her mouth. No. But it made sense. Horrible sense. Rachel had been in love with Jason. Emma had seen it. The way Rachel looked at him, touched him, flirted. Rachel wanted Jason, and the only way to get him was to get rid of Emma. So she made Emma look crazy. Used Emma's biggest fear, relapsing, seeing things that weren't real. Dressed up as their mother, the most traumatic figure from Emma's past. Knowing Emma would tell Jason. Knowing Jason would think Emma was insane. It was brilliant, and it was evil. Emma called Sarah Park right away. I have proof. My sister has been stalking me. Sarah watched the videos. Oh my God. Can we use this? Absolutely. This changes everything. They filed an emergency motion. Got the evidence to the court. Jason was notified. Had to review the footage. Emma didn't know what he thought. He hadn't called. But now, sitting in this courtroom, watching the videos play for everyone, Emma finally felt something. Vindication. I'm not crazy. I never was crazy. You did this, Rachel. You destroyed my marriage. Sarah turned to Rachel. Miss Sullivan, would you like to testify? Rachel stood up slowly, looked at her father, at Emma, at Jason. I'd like to make a statement, Rachel said. Judge Morrison nodded. You'll be sworn in. Rachel walked to the stand, put her hand on the Bible. I swear to tell the truth. She sat down. Sarah walked up. Did you dress as your mother and stand outside Emma's house? Silence. Ms. Sullivan, we have video evidence. Lying now would be perjury. Rachel's voice cracked. Yes, you could hear people gasping. How many times? I don't know. 10? 12? Why? Rachel looked at Emma. Tears were streaming down her face. Because I wanted Jason. Emma closed her eyes. I've been in love with him since Emma introduced us. He's everything I ever wanted. Kind, stable, successful. And she got him. My broken sister got the perfect guy. So you tried to make her look insane. I knew about her diagnosis. Dad had told me years ago. And I thought, if Jason knew, if he saw her acting crazy, he'd leave her. And I'd be there. To comfort him. To show him what a real relationship could be. You exploited your sister's trauma. I know. Rachel was sobbing now. I know it was wrong. But I couldn't help it. I love him. I love him so much. Jason stood up. You're sick. Rachel turned to him. Jason, please. Don't talk to me. You're sick. You need help. I did it for us. There is no us. There never was. You destroyed my marriage. You made me think my wife was insane. Jason's voice broke. I almost left the woman I love because of you. He looked at Emma. I'm sorry. God, Emma, I'm so sorry. Emma couldn't speak, just cried. Judge Morrison banged her gavel. Ms. Sullivan, I'm referring this case to the district attorney. You'll likely face charges. Stalking, harassment, possibly fraud. You're ordered to stay 500 feet away from Emma Mitchell at all times. Bailiff, escort her out. They led Rachel away, still crying. Thomas Sullivan sat alone in the back. He'd aged about 10 years. Judge Morrison looked over at him. Mr. Sullivan, I'd like to hear from you. Thomas stood up slowly, walked to the witness stand. He looked old, defeated. Mr. Sullivan, did you know about your daughter Rachel's actions? No, not until today. But you did know about Emma's diagnosis, and you helped her hide it from Jason. Thomas nodded. Yes. Why? Thomas's voice was rough. Because it's my fault she's sick. Emma looked up. What? What do you mean? Judge Morrison asked. Thomas closed his eyes. My wife, Anna, had schizophrenia. I knew. Before we got married. Her family told me. But I loved her. Thought I could handle it. Thought love would be enough. He stopped. Swallowed hard. It wasn't. She got worse after Rachel was born. Postpartum psychosis. Never recovered. I worked long hours. Left Emma, she was 10 years old, to take care of her mother. And Rachel, a newborn. Too much responsibility for a child. His voice broke. Emma found her mother. In the barn. Anna had slit her wrists. With a knife. Blood everywhere. Emma saw it all. Emma was crying. She remembered. God, she remembered. Emma tried to save her. Called 911. But Anna died before they got there. And Emma, Thomas wiped his eyes. Emma just broke. Right there. She started screaming. Seeing things. Couldn't sleep. At 17, she attacked Rachel during an episode. Thought Rachel was a demon. Tried to strangle her. Rachel had mentioned that before. The attack. I had Emma committed. 1 year. She got treatment. medication, therapy. She got better. When she was released, doctors said she was stable, could live a normal life, long as she managed her stress. Took medication when she needed it. Thomas looked at Emma. When you met Jason, you were so happy. I'd never seen you that happy. You wanted to tell him about your diagnosis. I told you not to. Emma's breath caught. I said, men don't marry women like you. If he knows, he'll run. I thought I was protecting you. I didn't want you to lose him. So you helped her lie, Judge Morrison said. I didn't think of it as lying. I thought of it as giving her a chance. A normal life. She deserved that. After everything I put her through. Mr. Sullivan, your guilt doesn't justify deception. I know that now. He looked at Jason. I'm sorry. You deserve the truth. Jason didn't say anything. Thomas had been at the birthday party. He'd seen Emma's face when she looked out that window. Pure terror. He'd pulled her aside afterward. What's wrong? Dad, I saw her. Mom. In the backyard. Thomas's blood ran cold. Emma, no. You didn't. I did. I saw her. Emma, your mother is dead. You know that. I know. But I saw her. Thomas grabbed her shoulders. Listen to me. Do not tell Jason about this. Do you understand? But if you tell him you're seeing things, he'll think you're relapsing. He'll leave you. Is that what you want? No, but then keep quiet. It was probably nothing. A shadow. Stress. It'll pass. Emma nodded, uncertain. Thomas thought he was helping, protecting her. He didn't realize that by telling her to stay quiet, he'd just made everything worse. Thomas finished his testimony. I should have told Emma to be honest. From the very beginning, all I did was teach her that her illness was shameful. Something to hide. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Judge Morrison nodded. You may step down. Thomas walked past Emma, stopped. I'm sorry, baby girl, for all of it. Emma couldn't even look at him. Mr. Mitchell, Judge Morrison said, in light of this new evidence, do you still wish to proceed with the divorce? Jason stood up slowly. No, Your Honor, I don't. Emma's head snapped up. Jason turned to her. Emma, his voice cracked. I'm so sorry. I should have believed you. I should have trusted you. You told me someone was there, and I called you paranoid. I found out about your diagnosis and immediately assumed you were crazy. I didn't give you a chance to explain. I just left. Emma was crying. You were scared. That's not an excuse. You're my wife. I promised to stand by you, in sickness and in health. And at the first sign of trouble, I ran. Jason, I love you. I never stopped. And I will spend the rest of my life making this up to you, if you'll let me. Emma stood up, walked across the courtroom, threw her arms around him. They held each other, both of them crying. Judge Morrison smiled a little. I take it we're dismissing the divorce petition. Jason pulled back, looked at Emma. If she'll have me back. Emma nodded. Yes, always yes. But this story doesn't end in that courtroom, because Rachel's actions had consequences, real consequences, and the path to justice was just beginning. 6 months later, October 2024, Rachel stood before a different judge. Criminal court this time. She'd been charged with stalking, multiple counts, criminal harassment, fraud for false testimony, and attempted alienation of affection. Emma and Jason sat in the gallery together. Rachel's lawyer tried to plead for leniency. Your Honor, my client is deeply remorseful. She's agreed to psychiatric treatment. She has no prior record. The prosecutor stood up. Your Honor, Ms. Sullivan's actions were calculated and cruel. She systematically terrorized her sister, exploiting childhood trauma. She nearly destroyed a marriage. She deserves significant consequences. The judge went through all the files. Ms. Sullivan, do you have anything to say? Rachel stood up. She looked smaller now. Broken. I'm sorry, she whispered. Emma, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. I thought I loved him, but love doesn't do this. I was obsessed, sick, and I hurt you. I hurt everyone. Emma didn't say anything. I'm getting help, therapy, Medication. I know that doesn't fix what I did, but I'm trying. The judge nodded. Ms. Sullivan, I'm sentencing you to 18 months in prison, suspended to 12 months of home detention. You'll undergo mandatory psychiatric treatment. You're prohibited from contacting Emma or Jason Mitchell for 5 years. If you violate these terms, you'll serve the full sentence in prison. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. They led Rachel away. Thomas Sullivan sat alone way in the back. He'd aged 10 years and 6 months. After the hearing, he came up to Emma outside. Emma, he said, I know you probably never want to see me again, but I need you to know, I'm sorry. For everything. For failing your mother. For failing you. For teaching you that your illness was something to be ashamed of. Emma looked at him. Dad, I'm not ready to forgive you. Not yet. You spent my whole life making me feel broken. Defective. Like I had to hide who I was to be loved. I know. But I'm not broken. I'm not defective. I have an illness. That's all. And it's managed. And I'm okay. Thomas nodded. Tears in his eyes. Maybe someday, Emma said, we can talk. But not now. I understand. Emma walked away. Jason's arm around her. Thomas just watched them go. Emma and Jason were sitting on their porch. November 2024. Coffee in hand. Cool morning. Leaves falling. Mr. Henderson put up another camera, Jason said. Says he wants to make sure we're safe. Emma smiled. He's sweet. Nosy, but sweet. They sat there in comfortable silence. Do you ever think about her? Jason asked. Rachel? Sometimes. Mostly I just feel sad. She's my sister. Part of me still loves her, but I don't know if I'll ever trust her again. That's fair. She's sick, like I was sick. The difference is, she hurt people on purpose. I never did that. You didn't hurt anyone, Emma. You were a victim. Emma turned to him. Do you ever regret it? Staying with me? Never. Even knowing I have schizophrenia. Emma, you haven't had symptoms in 12 years. You're stable. You're in therapy. You take care of yourself. The diagnosis doesn't define you. I should have told you before we got married. Yeah, you should have. But I get why you didn't. I'm part of the problem. Society makes people with mental illness feel like they have to hide. That's wrong. Emma leaned her head on his shoulder. I love you. I love you too. People ask me, was it worth it? Fighting for my marriage. Going through hell to prove I wasn't crazy. Some days, I don't know. I won in court. Rachel went to home detention. Jason and I stayed together. But it cost me $52,000 in legal fees for Jason, $37,000 for me. I had to take out a loan against my retirement just to pay for it. That's what it costs to prove you're not insane in America. 18 months of my life consumed by this nightmare. My relationship with my father, still broken. My sister, gone, maybe forever. And the worst part, the stigma doesn't go away. People in our neighborhood know. They whisper. That's the couple. The crazy one. The husband who tried to divorce her. Some days I see people cross the street to avoid me. But here's what I learned. Love doesn't mean accepting everything. Sometimes love means setting boundaries, demanding respect, refusing to be gaslit. I learned that mental illness isn't shameful. It's just an illness, like diabetes, like cancer. It doesn't make me less human, less deserving of love. I learned that family can hurt you worse than strangers, because they know your weaknesses, your fears, and sometimes they use them against you. But I also learned that some people will stand by you. Jason did, eventually. My lawyer Sarah did. Dr. Chin did. You find out who people really are when things fall apart. And sometimes the hardest thing is walking away from people you die for. I don't know if Rachel will ever really apologize. Not just words, but actually change. I don't know if I'll ever talk to my father again. I don't know what the future holds. But I know this. I'm not broken. I'm not defective. I'm not crazy. I'm Emma, and that's enough. I screwed up. I'll admit it. The woman I loved told me she was being terrorized, and I didn't believe her. Why? Because she had a diagnosis. Because she'd been in a psychiatric hospital. I let prejudice override love. I'm ashamed of that. But I'm grateful Emma gave me another chance. Not everyone would. If you're watching this, and you have a partner with mental illness, listen to them. Believe them. Don't assume every problem is because of their diagnosis. Mental illness doesn't make someone a liar. It doesn't make them delusional about everything. Emma was telling the truth. I just couldn't see it. Don't make my mistake. Emma was in their kitchen making coffee. Jason came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist. What are you thinking about? That we survived. We did. Do you think we're okay now? Really okay? Jason turned her around. I think we're better than okay. We're stronger. We went through hell. And we came out together. Emma smiled. Yeah, we did. They kissed. Outside, the sun was coming up. A new day. Their new beginning. So what would you do? If someone you loved had a secret, would you stay, or would you run? Comment below. Your story might help someone else who's going through this. If this resonated with you, share it. You never know who needs to hear it. Maybe someone in your life is struggling, hiding, afraid to tell the truth. Let them know they're not alone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Hit subscribe. We're building a community. People who've been betrayed. People who've survived. People who know that sometimes the people you trust most are the ones who hurt you deepest. But you can survive. You can heal. And you can love again.